Lakeshore Drive. So you had a crowd on Lakeshore Drive and drivers that had no idea that that was ongoing. So that Lakeshore Drive in the south end was shut down for about 10-15 minutes or so. One ambulance went into the scene here. Looks like
This is a message from the Kenosha Sheriff's Department. This message is being sent at 7:50 p.m. on May 31st, 2020. The City of Kenosha has declared a state of emergency. The City of Kenosha has issued a mandatory curfew beginning at 8:30 p.m. on May 31st, 2020. City of Kenosha residents are to remain in their homes.
Completely shut down from right now, at least till the morning. That may change. A lot of expressways in and out of downtown into major malls, they're shut down as well. This is important information to have if you're planning on trying to get to work tomorrow morning. That may be very difficult and may be ill-advised. We're going to move in the area here in Sky 5 as things calm down, at least for the moment here at 53rd and Lake Park Avenue. We're live here in Hyde Park. I'm Mike Borger in Sky 5.
And Mike, while I still have you, we're getting reports that at 47th and Prairie, a firefighter was injured there. Do you hear anything about that?
Let's do this, Rob. Jeff, our pilot, Jeff Fair's our pilot. If you can rotate to the left, we can give you a shot of this fire if you stay with our movement in about 30 seconds here. So
we're going to some video that we have on the ground looking at them fighting a fire there. That is a live picture at 47th and Prairie, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And you can see that they're fighting this fire. Obviously, we assume that some looters may have set this place on fire. In terms of a reported injury to a firefighter, we don't know the circumstance of that. We don't know if they were hit by debris from one of the demonstrators or if it was just part of fighting this fire.
All right, we're here, guys.
But these pockets of confrontations and emergencies are happening in small groups in various locations around the city. The advantage of having Mike Lorber up in Sky 5 is he gets a big view of the city, and sometimes when you zoom in on these smaller situations, they seem to be bigger than they actually are. The overall feeling so far tonight at 7:53, and the curfew goes into effect at 9 o'clock tonight, is that things are relatively calm around the city of Chicago. We did have the altercation on South Lakeshore Drive as we look at this fire right here, the same fire at 47th and Prairie. You see some flames still coming from that fire, so they have some work to do here. But firefighters are on the scene. They were able to access this point. That's been one of the issues we've seen in the last 24 hours is that when something happens, it's very difficult for first responders to get there. But again, as we look around the city of Chicago, there are pockets of activity, nothing like some of the things we saw last night, but again, it is early. 7:54, curfew goes into effect at 9 o'clock tonight. The city is locked down in many ways. As Mike Lorber said, public transportation is shut down, CTA, Metro shut down, bridges are up. Just for me driving here today to work from the West Loop, I was stopped on Kinsey. They were checking IDs and asking where you're going. Very difficult to get into the downtown area. But this is south here at 47th and Prairie as we look at this fire. And still some work to do here as the flames are very visible. With the ground shot here, you see they're getting some water on that fire now. And again, it's so much easier to be dealing with these things. Not that anything's easy right now when there is daylight. When it gets dark out, that's when things get more difficult. The National Guard has been called in on the perimeter of the downtown area to secure it. Cook County Sheriff's Police, about 80 of them, will be helping Chicago Police tonight. It is all hands on deck. Everybody's on a 12-hour shift, no days off for people in the Chicago Police Department. And there are pockets of them all over the city as they prepare to deploy to hotspots as this night unfolds. But again, we have not seen the large gatherings that we had seen yesterday, at least not yet today. Mike Lorber, can you hear me?
I can, Rob. We're back in this fire here that you mentioned, 47th and Prairie. We are just steps from the CTA Green Line, which of course is shut down here, and fire going through the roof of a one-story storefront. This situation is a situation where firefighters have been able to access the scene, but we've seen earlier cases during the 5 o'clock newscast, for example, there was a fire in West Madison, and due to a lot of activity, firefighters took a longer time to be able to get into here. So they're trying to work on the fire here, get access to this building. It looks like a one-story storefront again on 47th Street. Again, just steps just west of that CTA Green Line, which is shut down. 47th Street shut down as well. Firefighters are here. They are being blocked off. Go a little wider for, if you can, Craig. To your left, you've got about a dozen officers that are keeping anyone away from the scene here. And the same story just a block east of here on Prairie itself, where officers are shutting down 47th Street and they're shutting down Prairie so the Chicago Fire Department can get this work done, hopefully knock down this place soon.